Alright, so I'm back with another video. I got this Fender left-handed Strat. I don't play left-handed, so I feel very uncomfortable right now. But this thing is pretty cool looking. It needs a setup big time. But I was given this to get it fixed because the input jack does not make a sound. So if you turn it up, you get this. Nothing on the volume pot. Maybe a little bit of noise, but that's it. So I figured I would kind of show this in case you have a similar issue with your Stratocaster and you're like, why is it doing this? So I'm going to show you a few things. I know what the issue is already, but I figured I'd make this video real fast. So this has a really loose input jack here, so you can hear it jangling around, and that is the reason why this happened, but that's not necessarily tightening this won't fix it. So I'll get it over on the bench and then I'll show you what the real fix will be. Okay, so I've already taken out the screws here on the input jack, and don't mind this crazy high action. I'm going to talk to them about seeing if I can just reset up this guitar because it really needs a cleaning and a setup. But I'll show you guys what this is. So here's the loose input jack. You can kind of see it cool. But there's the real issue, and it's the ground cable is not soldered. So what happens is whenever this jack loosens up, it gets so loose, and whenever you go to twist it and pull and tighten it or whatever, and you end up twisting it so hard that you put strain on these cables and it breaks off. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this back together here and get it playing again. So one thing I found that's great on tightening these is using a socket of some sort. You can get all the way around it really easily and then tighten it up. Now you can have a shorter one, but I tend to do it without the actual ratchet on there because I don't want to over crank this and tighten it too much and break it. But I find that's like a huge help, especially on these Strats. So but in the cavity here, you can actually see some of the paint's gone, and that's most likely due to this flipping around and stuff. So I got the soldering iron heating up, and I'm gonna get this all fixed up. So one thing you'll want to make sure to do is remove the old solder and the broken cable bits on this one. And for that, I'm just gonna heat it up and pull it off the best I can. And there you have it. Now I found that using a fatter tip has helped me. I used to use really thin, small tips, but the fatter ones just have a lot more surface area and tend to get the solder melted on there faster. So if you're having trouble, maybe try using a fatter tip. And then also I use rosin core, the 6040. So yeah, and I'll plug this in and show you that it works by the end of this. Okay, so it's obviously a lefty guitar and I have it like a right, so Jimi Hendrix style, I guess. And I got it plugged up. It's working. So the one thing that's interesting about this is that the pot is actually a little wonky, so I'm gonna go in there and tidy up some of the soldering there. But really the biggest issue, there's no buzzing because the grounding cable is connected back. And yeah, and that wouldn't do anything. And it's still this one. But anyway, this all needs quite a good bit of cleaning, so I might just do that before I send it back to him and set it up. Here she is, all cleaned up. I ended up cleaning it up just because kids in high school, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a nice new guitar feel again. So I cleaned it up for him, and yeah, and then I reset up the bridge there, and I had it floating just so that way they have a little play back and forth. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a lefty, so this feels like I'm drunk playing this thing. Like, it feels wrong. Like, I I can barely even finger a G chord. But there you go. So, yeah, I figured out the electronic stuff. It's you know, the first original issue was the black grounding cable not being there, and then these pots, the issue with them going like up and then stopping. With the volume pot here, I just sprayed some PV Funk out in a can, and I just sprayed that on in each pot, and then just gave them a good little twist, and then went through and finished cleaning the guitar. And then whenever I went to plug it in, it all worked fine. The one thing that was interesting about this guitar is that, and I haven't seen this on a Strat, I don't think this is traditional, but this is your volume, just like any, and this tone actually controls both of these. And then this tone controls your bridge, which on the Strats that I'm used to, this tone is the middle and this tone is the neck. So that was just interesting. Thought it was kind of cool. Might change one of my Strats to do that, so, or the only Strat I have. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this helps.